So is being a dick part of being successful? I see in the controversial section all the time these people can't wait to come in and share their experiences and offer advice on how to be successful. They don't do it in a nice way. And it makes me wonder, is that what I have to look forward to when I'm successful? Like just unable to control myself, calling people losers and whatnot. Is that what comes with success when you get it? Genuinely curious. I'm a dick and unsuccessful. There's a few more requirements for success. People who are actually successful don't have a need to come and tell other people how successful they are. The people you see are simply the assholes. Edit, like those guys who tell you how many women they have slept with and can sleep with any woman in the city. They are just empty boasters. In my opinion, successful people have no problem making money off their friends, screwing people over they feel are below them, and think paying a fair share in taxes is something stupid people do. So to answer your question, yes. No, most people are just dicks. There is a big dose of narcissism and sociopathy that goes into claiming more than your share as owed to you. So yes, being a dick is a big part of being successful. Not for a fact, but I've seen most successful people being mean. Guess that's how they get what they want. There's definitely a culture correlation between climbing the rungs of the corporate ladder and stepping on people to do it. There are a finite number of spaces at each level, and eventually your hard work won't get you an advantage. It's common at the upper management levels to sabotage and sandbag others to secure a position. And once you've loosened your morals a bit in one facet of life, why not another? Eventually you start to see all your success at the expense of other people, and so the only advice you can share is from a place of negativity. If you are just a dick and you bring no value to anyone around you, you definitely won't be successful. Most career still requires others to like you in some way. On the other hand, if you do bring value but you act like a doormat and let everyone steps on you, then you also probably won't be successful. So it's all about finding the right combo between useful to others versus being selfish for yourself. And I guess the more talented you are in your field, the more selfish, less nice you can afford to be. It helps. At work I'm a bit of a dick. Within reason. If I'm hunting a raise I go gig a dick and it works. I use it more as a tool rather than a personality trait. I'm pretty mellow when I'm not working. But just being a dick doesn't work. You've gotta be able to back it up. That's why more experienced folks tend to come off that way. They know it's what'll get them just that extra bit further. Many successful people are true sociopaths. Very selfish, lack empathy, narcissistic, and are just overall dickheads. If a tree is successful in the forest but nobody hears it, is the tree really successful? Half of success is rubbing it in others' faces. It depends on what success means to you. There's a time and place to be assertive in the workplace. Being mean to people constantly just breeds hostility towards you. At the end of the day, I'd rather be kind than be mean to people. Our society is mean enough as it is. To add to others' observations here, there's also an element of survivorship bias going on with some of these people. They sacrificed, worked hard, overcame adversity, and came out on top. It gives them an inflated sense of control over their life and surrounding circumstances. I was able to do it, so anyone can. They often fail to realize that there were plenty of people who work just as hard, sacrificed just as much or more than them, who didn't make it. It's a blind spot that leads them to contemptuously believe that others in unfortunately positions are lazy. In my experiences, it's neither a necessary nor sufficient quality for obtaining success. But similarly, being nice is also neither necessary nor sufficient. Dicks often lack emotional intelligence or any modicum of maturity. Here's the insecure, immature way of things. Only count the gains, and not the losses. Especially the losses of social contacts through being assholes to them. They weren't useful anyway, and aren't as important as the asshole. I can't remember if it was a real or opinion, but there was a video article that mentioned how modern society is set up in a way to allow narcissistic attitudes to rise through the ranks, given they find the correct setting. Thinking about how 99 of celebrities or politicians fit this low destiny population of successful jerks, I am inclined to agree. Not all dicks are successful, but all excessively successful people are dicks. It is. If you want to know why. Machiavelli's The Prince is a study on why good people get neck punched 2 days into their first term, and we have dickheads for 40-year careers. Every time ever. My company recently had a company-wide meeting where all the high-up execs got together on a Teams call with the company, and wow, it was just a bunch of sociopaths throwing jabs at each other for 45 minutes that should have taken about 15, but they all needed to hear themselves talk. Part of being successful appears to be using other people as rungs on the ladder to success. No. But the Venn diagram of people who claim themselves successful and people who measure success based on salary has the overlapping area labeled dick. Most traditionally successful people I've met have been dicks. I also suspect they may be the most unhappy too. Yes. But it's more like to be successful. You must be a dick who blames said dickness on the system. For example, rich people pay no taxes most of the time. Why? Because it's legal. Remember this. The upper class pays nothing. The middle class pays for everything. The lower class is just there to scare the shit out of the middle class. Sadly, the difference between arrogance and confidence is competence. And both share boisterousness. It's harder to judge competence than boisterousness. And so here we are. There are studies that show the more money you have, the less empathy you have. So yeah, it seems to coincide. Success in capitalism requires ruthlessness and a lack of empathy. Which is by design. Mostly yes. Being a dick is a part of being successful if we're talking financial success in a capitalist society. I think some people take it too far, but you have to be tough and stern to a certain extent if you are in a position of power like owner or manager in certain industries. If your staff don't respect you, they will sometimes take advantage and walk all over you. But it's a balance, because if you push too much, your staff hates you, and insubordination and laziness can occur because middle finger the boss. You have to be both productive and skilled at managing internal relationships. Lack of empathy just helps with being successful. To be fair, you can lack empathy and not act like a dick, too. I don't think you become like that after getting success. It's just harder to get when you're genuinely a nice, good person. The reality is there are no kind billionaires. They may have a persona that is carefully curated for you to see, but every single one of them has had to step on so many people to get to where they are. It's the same for many other jobs like CEO and VPs. There are good and bad successful people. But bad people might have an upper hand. They can exploit others, break rules, deploy fraudulent business practices, etc. And their success is too often celebrated just the same. When people amass a certain amount of wealth, it gives them the power to manipulate our laws through lobbying and donations. They become even more successful because of it, which is also celebrated just the same. It isn't being a dick, it is weighing empathy versus risk-reward.